Who is Dustin Barca? uh, I'd say I'm a father first and foremost, and a warrior of the aina. GMOs are genetically modified organisms. That's, where the seeds have been genetically modified of the plants. It's like lazy man farming, you know what I mean? I first got involved in the movement probably about 4 years ago. Started going to rallies, and I was learning about it probably for like 7 years before I got involved, really. When I went to a rally at the State Building, I saw Walter Ritty speak, and the things he said just made a lot of sense to me. It's our job to protect and defend the land for the future. If we don't do it, nobody else will. So, after I heard him speak and everything he said, I just had to get neck deep. Personally, I think everybody eating them, here in Hawaii especially, we're being affected directly because everything they're doing is in open air. All the spraying they're doing is in open air, and a lot of these chemicals can go within 1,000 miles in open air. So, who knows how far they're going in our daily trade wind, you know what I mean, here in Hawaii. And, these guys are farming next to schools, next to communities. I think a lot more people are being affected than we even know. Just a group of people helping get the information of what's going on here in Hawaii, and creating a place where people can just pick up the information and share it, and always giving new information, what's going on in Hawaii with the GMOs, what the problems are, really shining the light on the scientists who are fighting against it. And with our group, I have my own group, it's Ohana O Kaua'i, that I started with two friends of mine, and we're partnered up with all these different coalitions in Hawaii, like GMO Justice Coalition, there's Hawaii Seed, Babes Against Biotech, we got Moms on a Mission, and GMO Free Kauai. They're all under Hawaii Seed, but yeah, we bought a bunch of groups that are just uniting, you know what I mean? And that's how I believe that the only way we're going to deal with this problem is uniting all the groups together and all the islands together, and standing as one. Yeah. Kauai is kind of the forefront leader in this fight, against these corporations here. And, we're already seeing the birth defects, and we're seeing the cancers, and we're seeing the kids are all flopping around in school, 30, 40 kids in one day with seizures, bloody noses, whatnot, and that's right next to these fields. And Bill 2491 gave us transparency to know what chemicals they're spraying, so, you know what I mean, what chemicals they're spraying, what things they're testing, and also puts buffer zones around our schools and communities and stuff like that. And it allows us to do an EIS, an environmental impact statement. And so, hopefully we can look at the chemicals they're using, do an environmental impact statement, mostly surrounding those chemicals, and make some conscious decisions. I'm doing this for the future, for my kids and their kids and all my friends' kids and everybody I love, and for the place I live. These guys is poisoning our drinking water, they're poisoning our land. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's an old saying, yeah, aloha aina. It's like, you know what I mean, a respect, a love, a mutual agreement with the land, yeah. And it's this saying's been used for all different fights, but you know what I mean? It's like such a simple way of life that our ancestors live with here in Hawaii. Yeah, it's like you love the land, you respect the land, you take care of the land, and it takes care of you. You know what I mean? It gives you healthy food, it gives you healthy water, it gives you healthy air. But if you keep poisoning and poisoning and poisoning the land, then you know it's only common sense that it's going to poison you back. Bring awareness to the community of Haleiwa, Wailua, you know, to make some noise and let them know what's going on in their backyards. Almost like backyard terrorists, you know what I mean? Spraying that much poison in people's backyards. Right next to Wailua High School is you know, they have test fields right there. I went and checked it out. It's like 100 feet away from the school is their fields. Also to urge Kamehameha schools to not renew their lease that's up this year with Monsanto. Kamehameha Schools is leasing thousands, around 1,500 to 1,000 to 1,500 acres, I think, right up here in Haleiwa, all the way almost to Waimea River. And the overall goals of Kamehameha School and the vision was to perpetuate, you know what I mean? And what's going on here is the exact opposite. You know, even in the pouring rain, we had over 1,000 people marching in Haleiwa, and you know, I think the information's all there for everybody, and it's time for, you know what I mean, it's time for them to just stand up and, you know what I mean, fight for the future of their community. Yeah. This one guy told me, what if all this big wave surfing you did and all the fighting you did and everything you did in your life was setting you up for what you're doing right now? And I think all that was just one way to make me strong for do what I'm doing now and not be afraid. And it's helped me have one relationship with God and letting God be the guide, you know what I mean? All this stuff is just like all this stuff I'm doing almost comes from a voice in my head just telling me to do it. It's trippy, yeah. It's like, and you know what I mean? Anytime there's something serious to go to, I almost like, at times, never let go almost, because I was just, you know, wanting for hang with my family, but I just had one thing in my head telling me, go right now, go. So I used to jump in my car, go over there, speak or whatever, and ends up being like one thing that was one piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean, that time or something. And it's like, I don't know. It's just all starting to come together, and it's trippy because I'm just like on this path that I don't even know where it came from. One good thing for people to do off the bat is just Google these companies that are making our seeds and making our food, and who are really trying to manipulate the seed industry into being 100% GMO and going away from natural seeds. And you know what I mean? It's a scary thing, yeah? Because those who control the food and control the water pretty much control everybody, you know what I mean? So that's one scary thing. So it's good that people Google these companies and learn about them. Monsanto, you Google Dow, you Google BASF, DuPont Pioneer, Syngenta, you know what I mean? You Google these companies and you read the history of the companies and what they've done everywhere they've been, and then you'll have an understanding of why we are standing up and fighting against these guys and really creating almost like one peaceful militia against these companies, because we're all parents, we're all neighbors, we're all Ohana, we're all, you know, family. And, you know, for us in Hawaii, there's nothing more important than family, your friends, and the land and the ocean, yeah? And what these companies are is a threat to all of that.
way to deal with these kind of problems, or any problems we have, is by uniting. The only way you're going to deal with any problems in this world is by uniting. Bringing people together and peacefully protesting whatever that issue is.
I think what I'm doing is 100% defending Hawaii.
Okay, this is state of mind, this is all in state of mind.